Coming up next, Heresy, VNA. Can I press the button?
Yes, you can press the button.
I'm pressing the button. What do we got? Lombardia, Fortress, Frisia. Nice maps.
It's pretty interesting maps as well. We're seeing teams both still liking Fortress, as we just saw in the previous game, but now we've got Lombardia, an Arabia-style map, and then Frisia, which is sort of the weirdest map.
Yeah, Frisia was one of the weirdest ones in the 1v1s. I'm excited to see how that looks in 3v3s, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Are we melting? Miracle Tortoise, it is 30 Celsius here today in the UK, but we are not melting. The studio is cool as a cucumber, and we are just sitting here in, well, we're wearing shorts and t-shirts, but it is a very comfortable temperature in the studio.
It gets maybe a little warm towards the end of the day as it's heated up throughout the space of the day, but it's not
we have such a high ceiling
I'm dying.
that all of the heat rises up to the ceiling and it stays pretty cool at the ground level, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, it's perfect. I really like it. It's good weather.
Right, I will be right back. I'm
You're
just
going to
grab a drink, and we'll get our next game going in a moment.
I guess I'm in charge of talking to the chat. Did Suomi win? Yes, they did. They had a 2-0 victory over Frantic there. Zach's a little bit tangled with his chair. He's unable to get out of his seat at the moment. There we are. He's managed to stand up. Where do you live, EscapeAoE? In Liverpool, Leigh, Manchester? We're in Leigh, kind of. We're near Leigh, I guess would be the best thing. We're in Leigh? We are? Okay, good. Ham's got my back. He's telling me where we live. And yeah, Nbrain in the chat, one of the devs for Capture Age. If you have any, questions or ideas, or even if you just want to say thank you, make sure you give Nbrain a lot of, support and love for the awesome work that they're doing on Capture Age. And I believe Nbrain's going to be coming to the ECL LAN. I think. I vaguely remember seeing you in the Discord say that you're coming, so that's going to be awesome. You can thank him in person as well if you're coming. Near Manchester Media City? Ham? Manchester Media City, is that near where we live? We're close to that, apparently. Oh, Lawrence won't make it. Oh. Nope, Robo. Nope, what? What's up, Ivik? What am I noping? Slugum, where do I live? Yeah, I know, right? Bogus, help the poor guy. He doesn't know where he lives to start. How long are you in England now? Nearly 6 months? Robo's usually changed in the basement. Normally I'm chained in my bedroom. Well, that sounds not how I meant to say it.
Lol.
But yeah.
Robo good at geography.
Well, Ham's got my back, alright? We're a team here. We don't all know everything. That's why it's a team, right? We help each other out. We know different things and we work together.
That's what you keep telling yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been to Media City, Ivik, and obviously it's on our side of Manchester, so it's not difficult to get to Manchester, really. We took a taxi in the other weekend. It was good. But, yeah, Media City's on our side, so it's not like it's on the other side of the city or something. It takes ages to get there. But, yeah, Seaberg, thank you very much for the 4-month resub. 4-month streak. Welcome back. And, yeah, I think we should get on with the games. Heresy against VNA up next.
All right. The winner of this match gets to play against Suomi in the semi-finals next Saturday. It's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here. Can the two teams near the bottom of the standings? Maybe we should look at the standings. Not that it really matters for like the overall LAN situation, but just to see, where these two teams are sitting.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's do just that. Standings here on the screen. You've got Secret at the top, AM in second, Suomi in third, and then going all the way down to VNA in sixth and Heresy in eighth with 6 points.
So the two teams near the bottom of the standings fighting it out.
It's crazy, really. Secret have 10 times as many points as Heresy.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a feels bad, man, but I don't think Heresy really expected with their team rosters, right? They were the 8th team to get in.
That's true.
To ECL.
it's interesting as well that AM actually have the most first placings with 5.
Yeah, they had a really good run. They got like 4 in a row this year, essentially.
Yeah.
Or like the end of last year coming into this year and just sort of stormed up the rankings. Like they were sitting in 5th or 6th for a while at the start.
Yeah, right.
And then just shot up really quickly.
And they've won the most, but obviously they've not, if you count the gold and silver medals, they've got 6, whereas Secret have 9. So Secret just slightly ahead, even with winning only 1 less, but all those second places adding up as well.
Right.
So a bit more consistency from Secret across the whole event. Suomi with 2 victories, that's the 3rd highest number of victories, and they are in 3rd position as well. And they've sort of also stepped it up as well as the tournament's gone on. It's really the Chinese teams, SY and Frantic, who have sort of fallen off in a sense as the tournament's gone by.
Right. It's not really... Is it necessarily just that they've fallen off, or is it simply that AM and Suomi have started to perform better and start to take those victories and those second places when previously it was normally a Chinese team?
I mean, it's hard to say, isn't it? It is hard to say, but yeah, I'm not sure. But one thing is certain, AM and Suomi have come out ahead at the moment, and unless that can be turned around now by SY in the bottom part of the bracket, then... Well, Frantic are going to be stuck where they are. They can't score any points. They were just eliminated.
Eliminated in the final event.
And then if we look at the schedule for today, SY against AM. So that's an opportunity for SY to potentially score some points. But yeah, we do have, coming up next, Heresy against VNA. We're going to go ahead and load up the first game. Maybe we can turn the big light on as well, because it's getting kind of dark in here. I don't know why it's getting dark in here, but it is. So, there we go.
Why is Robo's voice so much manlier than Zach's?
Is it?
I don't know. Really? Thank you. That's a nice compliment, I think. Thanks, Reaper.
Reaper, I don't know what you're talking about.
Ooh, that's very deep.
I have a much more manly voice than Robo could ever dream of having. Welcome, everybody. This is game number 1 between Heresy and VNA. Best of 3.
In the round of 8. And it is.
Tell me more, Robo.
Tell me more. Okay. Over on the north-east side of the map, we have Team VNA with all 3 of their TCs really close together. We can see them all on one screen here. This is how Lombardia plays in team games.
I can see them all on one screen, Robo.
Well, you can see them all on one screen, but can you really see them?
Yeah, that's the question. I can see them all on one screen at one time zoom.
Exactly, right? They're just visible, right? That's how Lombardia is. Everyone goes nice and close together. Very much team-oriented map. It's similar to Arabia in the map style, but then you're shoved next to your allies. You have to work together. And you try to defend each other. Maybe try to do some different strategies utilizing this fact that, you're so safe and also you're so far away from your enemy. Because the flanks are next to your pocket, so there's no real... short rush distance for the flanks.
Oh, yes, background music is still on. You are correctus. I will fix that now. Give me a second. And...
Yeah. Magistone, I think you can post links. Yeah. Depends on what you're linking. As to whether or not the bot will get you.
Fine. Yeah, so, sorry about that. Where are we? Yes, so AM, not AM,
VNA.
ACCM, going to be playing in the purple as the Franks. You've got Britons for Say My Name, and you've got backed as the Indians here. On the other side, for Team Heresy, you've got Dugao playing in the blue as the Mayans. So that's a unique civ. You've got Celts in the teal for LAN, unique again. And then Franks, finally, the only mirror civ, once again in game 1, for Miguel in the green on the right side.
Like, the first thing that jumps out at me there is Fortress is game number 2. And Heresy are using Mayans.
Yes.
Don't they want to save Mayans for Fortress? Like, what are they going to do instead there on that map? I wonder.
Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? I mean, Mayans is generally that sort of powerhouse you'd expect. I mean, maybe they'll...
Like, they're still good on this map, for sure. Like, Mayans are good on basically every map you can think of. Right. But they're typically used on Fortress. So we'll see some interesting civ picks, I guess, once we get into game number 2.
Game 2 will be interesting. I mean, I expect they'll go something like Vikings, similar to what Suomi did, and then have 2 civs which can play faster, so then maybe you'd have Vikings slinging the Spanish or something.
Spanish and then Chinese,
And then,
maybe?
yeah, you could have that 3rd civ being sort of like an archer civ, which maybe doesn't need so much slaying or something. But for now, though, I mean, obviously Mayans going to be very strong here. Against the Britons, Indians, they'll be fine, for the most part at least. But Indians is a good pick, I think, because obviously both teams going for Franks.
You expect the Frank pick, right? It's one of the civs in the civ pool. It's an Arabia-style map. It makes sense to take the Mayans. Sorry, take the Franks, and then Indians just perfectly counter that.
Yeah, so we should see a lot of camels coming out from back tier, and obviously supported by greater ranged longbows, and then, you know, Paladin raiding perhaps. But we will see. At the moment, it looks like the focus for Heresy is getting a big team wall going with large palisades already coming out across the front here. And as you said, I mean, they do start close together, so it is easier for them to actually defend each other. But, you know, it's still good to have that peace of mind of having a team wall up.
For sure. And if you're possibly going to see some sort of a sling strategy, the Celts, for instance, they could sling the Franks or the Mayans. That's an opportunity. If you're fully walled, that makes that sort of a strategy much easier to do.
Yeah, I think so too. And, I mean, slinging the Mayans tends to be the way these things go.
No, we've seen that quite often.
But one thing I'm noticing here, the barracks coming up quite quickly for Team ACCM. Why do I keep saying ACCM? It's like I'm hooked on saying ACCM or something. VNA. Say my name, and ACCM both have barracks up.
You say early barracks, but, you know, it's nearly 10 minutes, so...
that's true.
If they're just going to be doing scouts or archers, like there we see the Frank player dropping the stable instantly. Say my name? Okay, maybe it's a little bit of a weird one, but he might be doing man-at-arms. He does have 4 military units, so maybe he's drushing.
Yeah, there they are, I think. Wait, hold on. They're there. They're there. I thought he'd done something.
They're trying to find a way in through these team walls, but it looks like there's a hole there.
A hole?
Yep, keep going to the right. There's this massive hole.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, I think
that's
Miguel...
kind of Miguel's base.
Yeah, I think Miguel possibly thought that Lan was going to wall across the top side to that other wood line. Instead, he's walled to the south wood line, and now Miguel's possibly going to have a problem here.
Potentially, yes. I mean, obviously, he can quickly wall that villager in. He should have scouted that, and I feel like Miguel should really have walled those villagers in there. I think there's no excuse.
Maybe he just didn't see it coming.
Yeah, his scout... Oh, that wasn't his scout. Whose scout was that? Was that Land's scout? Did they just not communicate that?
No, it is Miguel.
No, it was his scout.
Maybe he wasn't paying
this.
attention. I don't know, man.
That's so weird. But so be it. Okay. He is doing okay anyway. He's got a scout there. He's got his villagers to fight. He's not lost anything.
That's true. But ACCM, his scouts seem to be streaming across the map, trying to abuse this hole that's here. Oh, no, they're going back a little bit.
Yeah, they kind of want to get in here, right? I mean, this is kind of like a zigzag in a way. Like, they sort of come in here, they run down this way, and then in towards Miguel. But Miguel's just cleaned that drush up super easily. Did have to fight with the Vills, but they didn't die.
Right,
so
he didn't lose any units whatsoever. And here we are. He's going to get this stone wall up to secure this front of his base.
Yeah, it's really not too bad. ACCM will come in and hit this, though, but I think Miguel has enough here to defend.
Yeah. 3 scouts versus 4 scouts. Easy clean up.
More even coming in because he's got the support of Lan. He's
and
got
some
2 more behind, and he'll be absolutely fine. So yeah, the early aggression from the Britain player didn't really work out. Didn't really bring him much. And then off the back of this, he's going up to the Castle Age, basically Drush FC. Back to also going up to the Castle Age as the Indian player here to presumably switch into camels as quickly as possible.
Yeah, just straight FD camels and then Drush FC crossbows. That's a nice little combination, and ACCM is in there with the strong feudal age, Frankish scouts, just to take a little bit of map control or deny Heresy from freely taking map control.
He's absolutely going to butcher Miguel there. Miguel, I don't know if he didn't notice or something, but there was a spearman in that fight and got absolutely mangled up by that guy's long stick.
Got some good pokes in there.
Did certainly do just that. So he's on the retreat right now, and it's unlikely he'd do much with these scouts anyway, because unlike Team Heresy, VNA are actually fully walled right here. And you can see first player up to castle. It's going to be back T. He's going to be adding in a second town center straight away. And as far as I can tell, I mean, my hotkeys don't work here for some reason, but he doesn't have a stable or anything. He's just gone market blacksmith. So looking to boom at the moment.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That is strange, but he does not have any military units in queue. He's got no upgrades to military units. So I guess he is just straight FC boom into...
Yeah, I think they're just being greedy, to be honest. I think they're just being greedy.
That's surprising. Like, what would you really do, though? Like, Indians, I feel like you want to be pushing in Castle Age, because assuming the Mayan player gets to Imperial Age at some point, with plumed archers, your camels are immediately going to start to drop off, right?
Yes. I mean, obviously Indian camels are a little bit more
A little
tanky,
better than normal, but
still not great.
it's not ideal.
Yeah, so I mean that's kind of awkward, but I mean at the same time, Indian boom is really strong.
True,
He
that's
can
true.
get on to making military really early, but he's actually taking more stone. I wonder if he's going for a castle here.
Or just maybe
No,
a fourth
he's not.
TC, probably.
Yeah, because I thought maybe he'd go for something crazy, right? Like it's the last round of the ECL. They can't make it to the LAN. They're against the worst team in the standings. Let's try some fun strats. Let's go for castles into
Elephant
archers, which counters the plumed archers that are going to come out from from the Mayan player Dogao anyway.
True that. And we
But-
actually just saw a little bit of sling coming into Dogao from Miguel.
That makes sense, right? I mean,
Frankly, he's done the feudal aggression, he's stonewalled up, and then now he's going to switch into a sling.
yeah, and I think ACCM will do this.
No?
Actually, no, he won't. Sorry,
He's
going
up to castle.
now. So it looks like ACCM will actually sort of contribute here a little more. He's gone 2 stables, so we're going to see perhaps quite a bit more aggression immediately coming out from VNA, but then obviously the slings should come into effect, and that sort of will bolster Heresy here.
Right, but maybe these crossbows can break through? No, it seems Miguel's going to get his walls up behind here.
He didn't leave that to chance, did he? 5 villagers working
Lots
on
of
that.
villagers working away, but they could still maybe get in before these gates are fully walled. And remember, it's feudal age, so they don't have a ton of HP.
That's true, but he's stacking that HP up pretty quickly, and even adding a watchtower behind this for extra safety. And
I don't think that watchtower will go up with those British crossbows. If they see it, they should just
Can
walk
they
over.
range it?
They should be able to, I think. 8 range?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they can range it all right. It's always that's something that catches you out every time, isn't it? It's like, yeah, crossbows can't reach that. Oh wait, British crossbows, yeah,
Yep.
they can actually.
Feels bad, man. But okay, the tower does go up. He loses a villager or 2, and also land coming over defensive siege workshop just to make sure that no sneaky, risky business happens.
Yeah, of course, and we do have the Mangonel coming out there as well. So, like I say, it should be Team VNA sort of with the aggressive stance here, coming across the map, flooding across with knights and crossbow. That's a typical Castle Age combination. But a defensive Mangonel to buy time, defensive tower to buy time, stone walls, and there it is, the castle from Dogao, barracks from Dogao as well, as the
Early
Imperial
thumbering,
Age
possibly?
comes in. Yeah, I think maybe that's the play. I mean,
Or maybe Eagles?
Eagles could be on the cards, but
Well, like, he needs the barracks for thumbering at some point anyway.
Mhm.
So, like, one barracks by itself. Oh, no.
it's going to
Yep,
be Eagles.
scale
It's going
mail armor
scale
coming in.
mail. Okay. Castle then for El Dorado in that case, and we'll see Eagles coming out from the Heresy player.
Eagles versus crossbows? Gonna destroy them.
Absolutely.
Eagles versus camels? Gonna destroy them. The knights might be a little bit of a pickle, but once he gets them to fully upgraded Eagles versus Castle Age Knights, it'll be okay.
Yeah, and ACCM isn't exactly making that many knights. Both of his stables are currently idle as he works on building up his economy. So the question is, will VNA sort of be much slower up to him and be able to respond to these Eagles? At the moment, as we identified earlier, they are quite well walled up, and although they're only palisade walls, once they see that Imperial Age coming in and they've not seen any plumes, they might sort of play it safe and go for a little bit more walling anyway.
I think, like, the one risky thing, though, is that all of VNA, they're booming in a very small, constricted area. So if Eagles get in,
Yeah.
they're just going to run everywhere. There's no way that you can wall up between each other's bases or anything like that.
Look at this. Each one of these represents a town, as town center. It's almost like a really condensed Catan board up there. you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
It's almost like a hex, actually, the way their base is constructed. But yes, Lan trying to hold out, trying to defend with these mangonels, but it's kind of hard downhill against a Briton player with 8 range on their crossbow.
But they're not breaking in. They're going to kill a couple of villages here and there, but it's nothing insane. And now, Degao, he's hit Imp. He's getting Elite Eagle Warrior. Backed is up to Imperial Age himself, but he's teching into Cavalry.
Yep.
Camels versus Eagles, not ideal.
It's not so hot, is it?
And also Lan. Lan is up to Imp as well.
Wow, yeah, Lan's going pretty quickly here. He's only on 3 TCs, so his eco isn't going to be that huge, right?
Well, we say that, but he has the second most villages in the game.
He does, but for a Celt player, it's not that big. Normally you see 4 TC booming from the Celts. They want a big, solid eco.
He's probably got a bit of sling from Miguel as well. Help kick him over the edge there.
No?
No, all to
Didn't get
Degao.
All him.
Never mind then.
Yeah, obviously Miguel and Degao are gonna sling each other to the end of time.
But they are the buddies.
Yeah, they are BFFs. But yeah, Degao coming in with the Elite Eagles now. +4 defense about to come in. The timing on this is going to be perfect. He's pushing out, and he'll clean this up. I mean, he will take a bit of damage from the Mangonel for sure, but the Knights, the crossbows, I mean, they won't stand a chance against this. Even without attack upgrades, they will be absolutely fine. So this is going to be the first time, really, that Heresy leave the base after the Feudal Age.
Yep, after their scouts earlier. And now, I'm wondering, like, what is VNA going to do to react to this? They've scouted that it's eagles, not plumes. Right? Does Backed switch into making hand cannons? Indians, they've got good hand cannons. They've got Chattagny, which is +1 range, which is pretty useful.
Could do it.
Maybe ACCM goes for, like, champions or throwing axemen. Maybe Say My Name goes for champions, but he's not up to Imperial Age.
He's going up to Imp now. I mean, he's currently committed to Heavy Camel. He's just started researching it. And of course, the most painful thing about going Camels in this situation is not just will they be less effective than other units, but they take so long as well. I mean, it's such a long tech. This is going to take ages to complete. Notice how by the way, that he has actually stone-walled up once he saw those eagles. So Team VNA being very careful about the potential eagle raiding.
Well, and
huge
even
walls on the right side.
Securing their corner for trading, which is nice. I like this. This is a good play.
Yeah, I think so too. We actually see a lot of Halberdier coming out from land. So
well, that's going to really kill off any camels as being a useful military unit.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't stand much chance already. Now it's really put that to bed. So this whole tech section here from Backed is somewhat wasted at this point, as the Eagles are starting to run in on the left. They've sort of hit the stone wall on the right, but in the middle of the map, the Siege Workshop and Land coming in with more halbs. So they're going to find their way in pretty soon at this rate.
I don't think they're going to find a hole to break in here. There's enough stone walls, it seems, behind all those houses. And maybe we're going to see an Onager cut pretty soon from land. Make a Mangonel or 2, research Onager, just getting in there, ignore their walls altogether.
That could be an option. I mean, obviously they're not getting in there just yet. The Camel's going to go up against the Halbs. The Halbs already have +4 defense and +1 attack is done too, so they're not going to perform well there at all, but Backed has to do something, and what he's done here is at least kill those forward villagers before having to, of course, get the hell out of there, or maybe not get the hell out of there. I mean, what are you doing, Backed? You don't be here. Don't be here. That's silly.
It's just a horrible fight.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to continue to fight, but it's just a waste at this point. Around the backside, there's only palisade wall here from ACCM, but
he's dropping some stone walls. But he does have a TC and a castle he's building on the left-hand side outside of his base, trying to secure, that other corner of the map, essentially. Expand that way, and that area could be vulnerable to raids.
It's a little bit of a larger wall off, isn't it? To go all the way across here, or out here. It's a bit more than this one, which I think isn't too bad because of the tree lines. But yeah, I mean, at the moment, Land pushing in here now. Capped Ram just completing. And they're finding their way in one way or the other. And I mean, really, these Imperial Camels, they're so good against the Franks. But where are the Franks?
Feudal Age Slinging.
Feudal Age Slinging, absolutely. So it's a good adaptation from Team Heresy here.
Yeah.
Oi, petards.
I feel like their Civ picks were just incredibly variable, right? They're in.
They're in. That was a good little bust from Degao there.
I was about to say, though, they could sling with the Celts to the Franks and Lions. Because they see the Indians, they decide, okay, the Franks aren't going to be very good. You do the slinging instead of land.
Yep.
And, they've just adapted their Civ picks to be nice and variable, covering all their bases. And now these Halbs and Eagles are going to run through the economy, raiding villages, belling up all the villas inside the TC, unable to gather. Rams coming in as well.
Yeah, it's bad news for them, isn't it?
The military count's insane. It's 140 for Team Heresy versus 60 for VNA.
73 Elite Eagle Warriors on the field right now.
Roaming all over the place.
Look at them. They're flooding across the map. It's just going to be an endless supply, an endless amount of pressure coming in. And look at that. A bunch of dead camels on the floor, unable to really fight against those halbs at all. And the front of Team VNA's base starting to crumble under this pressure.
Just a couple of rams bashing away at the buildings and these units everywhere. I like the throwing axeman switch from ATCM. I think it's the perfect unit to make, but it's a little bit too late, I think.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to get a mass of 20, 30 axemen in a bunch beforehand. But now, 2 or 3 of them at a time are just going to get picked off.
He's got 3 castles, but he's only got 65 vills, so continuing production will be hard. He'll be spending his resources down to the limit, basically.
But is that enough? Right, they've got so much more military than you. They've also got 70 more villages than you. And also Miguel doing the team thing, team walling the middle of the map, and very forward team walls as well.
Oh, yeah.
Securing all of this space for their team.
Well, forward team walls are just great because the further forward they are, the more heads up you have as to where they're going to try and breach.
Exactly.
Gives you more time to react, right?
And just secures more extra golds, more relics, more extra stones, more wood lines for later in the game.
A lot of benefits to that. Miguel's doing a really good job here, just in the back lines, supporting his team. And I mean, the KD here for LAN, it doesn't look particularly impressive, 49 to 53, but
those
it
halbs
is
versus
impressive.
camels,
yeah,
right?
Halbs against camels. Obviously, the camels aren't the most expensive unit, but they're certainly more expensive than the halberdier.
Exactly. And then
Meanwhile,
just Dogao shredding everything he can get his hands on.
His grubby little paws going to town. I mean, this is good for ACCM though, admittedly. It's a lot of throwing axemen all of a sudden, 17 on the field. He will start to tear through those Eagle Warriors and the Halb. So they could stall, they could buy some time with this.
But Dogao switching into elite plumes. He's getting braces, he's getting pattern archer armor, chemistry all at once. So soon those throwing axemen are going to be like, oh, there's no more Eagles. Now what do I do? Now I have to switch back into Paladin. But remember, ACCM, he's only got, 40 villages at the moment. He's being just completely gutted here on the front. There's dead bodies everywhere outside his base.
Look at this. Chaos. Carnage.
Boy, I'm not sure if VNA can continue to hold on for much longer here.
They can try. I mean, look at this. I mean, he's taking out the Treb, for example, and they have stalled. But once those plumed archers start to come in, they are going to have trouble. And the plumed archers are sort of grouping up here on the left side, waiting for their time to strike.
Okay, and there's still the Eagles roaming around the map, finding some sneaky stables from back there. They found this area of eco. And can we see, is there trade being set up yet for either team? Starting to build some markets.
Yeah, no trade really for either team at the moment. There's quite a bit of gold left on the map still by the looks of things. 41,000 still to be mined. So
on this screen here, we can see 3 gold mines.
Yeah, right. That's 5.5k.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still quite a lot of gold out there. They're not really in too much trouble yet with 4 gold, but still, the main issue is army composition and being able to hold off here. Land now with Onager, that's a bigger threat, of course, than throwing axemen. The plumed archers now coming in on the left side. Throwing axemen can't go anywhere near to them, otherwise they're in trouble. And well, that's it. ACCM, upon seeing those plumes, immediately calls GG, and Heresy will get the first win in this series, making it 1-0. I'm going to update the scoreboard for you now, and yeah, I mean, it's interesting. Obviously, Heresy using some really strong civs here for the first game. Mayans proving their worth, as they usually do, time and time again. But this time around, they're not going to have Mayans for the second match, which is going to be Regicide Fortress.
Right, and it's going to be, maybe this is VNA's chance. Like, they can come back because they're possibly going to have a better civ composition. If they think it through, they realize, okay, they can't use Mayans now. What are they going to use instead? Can we maybe change our civs to, utilize that bonus that we have of having Mayans? Maybe they're going to take Goths, right? That could be a sort of a counter pick to the Mayans. And they think, okay, if they have Goths, then maybe, we go harder on Conquistadors instead of switching to Paladins or something like that. I think VNA have a really good shot here. going into the next match.
You've got to think about it strategically. Obviously, they could take mines for themselves.
And you definitely do, and then you need to think about which other two civs to support them based on what you think might happen. Or might be played, should say, by Heresy.
Well, we will find out in just a moment because we're going to be loading up the second game in a second here. Second game in just a second. Are you kidding me?
There's so many seconds.
And I'm going to speed the game up to 56 because I think Capture Age runs a little slower. And we will reveal the civilizations. All will be revealed. I mean, I can see them right now.
But the stream cannot just yet. Going to quickly take one drink for 20 seconds and then we're going to start the game. We're hearing the fizz and the hiss as the bottles open. But Fortress, Regicide Fortress, we're going to see not much in the early game. We're going to see the good old booming, the tension, Crassius Curio, that's it exactly. Do you think Heresy might go for sling strats again?
Well, I think it's reasonable to sling on this map regardless. Not necessary, but I think it's strong. And you've got Miguel and Dugao on the team, two players who are very familiar with sling strats from many different tournaments in the past, including Nations Cup finals. So, you know, maybe that's what they're bringing to the team here. It's cool to see Lan playing alongside them, by the way, as well. That's nice.
I feel like Lan is probably the best of the remaining roster for Heresy. Okay, you have to decide between Lan, Melkor, Timotheus, or Nili.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Lan's very strong.
Lan's probably the best of those four.
Yeah, he is. Did we see Lan in one of... We did. He played against... Was it Valessa?
Yes. I think Lan's played in 2 of the 1v1s.
No, I mean in our sponsored show matches.
Oh, in our show matches, yes, he did. He played against Valessa.
And he won.
And he won. I think he won 5-2.
Yeah, it was quite a convincing win, I remember. So, yeah, I think Lan is a strong addition to Miguel and Dugao here for this team. And Heresy, going into Game 2 in this series, are leading 1-0. Regicide Fortress is the map, and spawning up to the north in the blue, we have the Berbers Dugao. In the pocket, Miguel playing as the Spanish in green. And then to the south flank, we've got Lan playing as the Slavs.
Okay.
In teal. Nice.
That heavily suggests to me that we're going to see some sort of a slinging.
Yeah, I think so too.
Slavs, they've got such an insane eco with their faster working farmers. You get to castle, you get a little bit of a boom going, and then you just spam sling Berbers and Spain into, conks, Camel archers, Paladin, camels, cavalier, the whole works of cavalry units, essentially.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think at this point, I think this is a strong combination, right? You've got a lot of bases covered here. You've got ranged units and arch units in the form of the Berbers. You've got the Paladins from the Spanish. You've got great siege from the Slavs. And the Slavs will sort of fulfill a similar role, perhaps, to the Celts from the other team here. And then the Berbers will, I guess, have to fulfill a similar role to the Mayans, perhaps, with range. I don't know. We'll see.
That's probably what we're going to see happen.
Camel archers are strong. They're quite effective against conquistadors as well. So that could also be...
I don't think so. Conquistadors don't have the cavalry archer class. So camel archers don't have any bonuses.
They do.
No, conquistadors are cavalry and archers, not cavalry archers. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
I'm not sure about that, actually. I thought they were cavalry archers still.
I'm like 95% certain.
Okay, well, I'll check that after the game. But, yeah, or maybe I could check it on the PC next to me. But either way, back here in the orange, going to be playing as the Mayans on the flank. ACCM in the pocket, going to be the purple Celts. And then on the flank, say my name. It's funny, like the farms just like boop, pop up into position. Then you've got say my name playing in the yellow as the Spanish.
Okay, and Pete in the chat confirming that they're not cav archers.
Okay, they are. Okay. Cool. Reaper, stop being a dick, and let's continue on, shall we? All right. So, we've got a very different game on our hands to the one we saw between
Suomi and Frantic.
Exactly.
Because there we had mirror civs, almost. We had two
Pretty
civs
much.
doing the same role. We had Berbers and Vikings both slinging, but here it's incredibly different. The only common civ are Spanish.
Yeah. And
So
yeah, I mean, then the Spanish players are not next to each other either. You've sort of got Seymour up to the flank here, and then you've got Miguel in the pocket. But as we sort of talked about before, you've got these walls. You can start slinging. It's no problem. But Miguel, very quick up to feudal here. Look at that
up
time.
the castle, sorry.
Sorry, I mean castle, yeah. I mean, look at that. 7-minute castle age.
That's a good click-up time.
You what, mate?
That's insane.
That's very, very fast indeed. Dogao and Lan shortly following behind, and still no one yet. Only backed clicking up to the castle age almost a whole minute later than Miguel. So all of Heresy quite quick to castle here.
Right. It seems like VNA are just going for more of a safer, less greedy approach, as it were. Get the TCs up. They're not going to be playing hyper aggressive as we might expect to see. And maybe, if we are going to see a sling strategy from Lan as the Slavs, maybe Miguel's thinking, I want to be up first, or maybe not first, but like really quick so that I can make a lot of conquistadors and defend my flank.
Yeah.
I want to be able to make sure that he doesn't take massive damage, because we can see that he is against backs. The Mayan player versus the slinging player, he's going to take some damage at some point, right?
Yeah. That's true. I was just sort of checking the stone piles as well, see if anyone's maybe not going to be going. I mean, I don't even need to look at the stone piles, really. I can just look over here. The interesting part here is say my name, and I clicked it by accident, but he's at 150 stone, and doesn't look like he's grabbing any stone here.
So maybe he's just planning one TC plays? Because if you're not going to make the third TC instantly, you don't need to mine the stone until later.
Exactly. That's what I'm sort of getting at, right? You can see Miguel, he's going up straight up to 3 TCs as the Spanish player for Heresy. But the Spanish player for VNA. Why do I keep calling
Team
him
ACCM?
Team ACCM. Yeah, that's what I need to say instead. Yeah, he's not grabbing any stone at all here. Meanwhile, Lan going up to 3 TCs as expected.
That TC on the outside, though, is a little
risky.
Could be raided pretty heavily by plumed archers.
Probably feeling confident that his pocket will protect him.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Although at the moment, only yellow player and the orange player making any military. So that's Team
None
ACCM
of Heresy. Oh yeah.
Going for plumes and conks.
And ACCM is the one that's not making any military.
Exactly. Team ACCM getting his teammates to do his bidding for him. And Heresy really not doing much at all in terms of military yet. Just all of them adding 3 TCs and getting their boom on.
Well, they're boomy players. They like it. They want to have that super strong economy. And people in the chat saying, why no Chinese for Heresy? They sort of have to decide, do I want Chinese or Slavs? Because they have to take 2 civs from the civ pool, and that's the Spanish and the Berbers. And I guess Chinese sort of limits your choices in terms of slinging, right? Because the Slavs are an obvious sling choice with their insane eco. But do you really want to sling with the Chinese? They're the sort of civ that you would sling 2, which then forces either the Spanish or the Berbers to sling, and they're just not as strong because they don't really have an eco bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think if they're planning, the strong sling strat, Slavs is probably the better pick here.
Makes sense. Obviously, the Slavic eco as well, just so much stronger. And we can see that Lan here may be exposed, like you said. I mean, there's plumed archers out on the field, but looks for like for now, Backed would actually run straight past. And still, even now, there's not a single military unit being trained by Team Heresy. So greedy, so passive.
12 plumed archers to nothing.
Exactly.
4 conks to nothing. This is just... They could come unstuck here with this players.
They could. I mean, it's very greedy, right? But they could also overtake them later on when they decide to actually start producing.
Oh, and ACCM is actually starting Sling already. He just slung 200 gold to backs. And he's also slinging the food and the gold. Okay, so we're going to see that standard play. Somebody slings the mines up to Imperial Age as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and the sling from Heresy, nowhere in sight just yet. No resources sent or received.
Not started just yet.
Do you think maybe he won't sling? Do you think maybe he'll just do his own thing?
Like, what would his own thing be? Like, Helb and Siege, right?
Yeah, right.
But against plumes?
Well, that's the thing.
It's so slow and risky. I don't think that's the best play that you could make. I think slinging is, with these civ choices, is the best thing you want to do. If he was going to play Castle Age or, standard Imperial Age, you would pick something other than Slavs. You'd pick Chinese, for example, like Chat was saying.
Yeah, right.
Because, Chukanus, they can defend against Blooms in the early game.
Yeah, they're not too bad.
And then, essentially it's a mine replacement.
Finally, though, Miguel does come in with some conks. Going to sort of repel these plumed archers for now. But all in all, I mean, they're running sort of 15 villas ahead at the moment, which is quite a considerable difference at this sort of earlier stages of the game.
But I think as long as that number doesn't get any larger, like if it stays at 15 bills,
Yeah, it's not
I think
the
that's
end of the world, is it?
it's definitely playable. And there we see Land starting the sling to Miguel.
It's happening. It's happening. Miguel here. Probably going to make a few more conks, but likely then to just switch into Paladin as soon as he can. Get up to Imp, go Paladin, because then he can deal with plumed archers quite effectively.
The conks are just make the bare minimum necessary to defend in the early game.
Push them away a little bit.
Yep, and then switch to Paladin as soon as possible.
Absolutely. We also see the Berber Camel Archer starting to be queued by Dogao now as well.
And also a 4th TC coming up as well for him.
So the Berbers here going to have an impact, and he's up against the Conquistadors here. So it's going to be sort of like the Camel Archer against Conquistador matchup with a couple of Mangonels perhaps from Say My Name mixed in. Do we see a Siege Workshop from Dogao? Not right now. But
you don't even see a stable bloodlines or anything like that.
No, that's true.
And no upgrades at all, actually. There's no fletching. There's no armor upgrade for Dogao.
He's doing fletching right now.
Now it's starting to come in.
But I think he's confident that he can stall and buy time a little bit with this TC here. At least for the time being. But yeah, I think he's got to be careful. Camel Archers are pretty good at picking off Mangonels thanks to that additional attack though.
Yeah, like they're a pretty good unit, but I think in like a one-on-one fight with Conquistadors, I think I'd definitely prefer Conquistadors. Because so much more damage per shot, right?
16 against...
I think a Camel Archer has 7 plus?
7
yeah,
plus
7 plus I think is what they get.
Bodkin arrows now coming in.
3 Mangonels now.
Yeah,
that TC is going down.
Going down quick, isn't it?
Or a lot of vills repairing it to keep it up. But then the Conks are just going to run in here and try to snipe them.
And they're doing just that. In fact, that villager difference now, not nearly as big as it was. Well, actually, no, it's still 15. But I think they'll close it in. Now it's 11. So,
but Miguel, he's up to him. He's up to him first in the game. Faster than back here. Going to be getting Paladin production going pretty quickly now. But...
oh, and Dogao's just going to try and stall with a second castle. That's a great play.
I like that. I think
it's a good position
that's
for
what he
it.
has to do at this point. There's so many Mangonels and Conks now that it would be really risky. Like any shot from these Conks will kill a Mangonel in one volley if they get close enough. But now they're forced. They have to move around, find some other place to go
like here.
Attack.
That's interesting position to mine gold.
Yeah, but
why not?
There's not a lot of
that.
bills there. It's okay if they get sniped.
The Knights catching plumed archers out in the open. He doesn't even have any Imperial Age upgrades on them, but it's still enough to take out the plumes. And Miguel going to be in a position now to pressure hard. Like you said, he's up to Imp before back, so he'll have Cavalier before back to even research his Bracer, for example, or Cap Ram.
But back,
look at that walling as well.
But back, look at that though. He's instantly adding barracks, researching the pikemen, adding in the anti-cavalry that he needs to defend his plumed archers.
I mean, the problem is though, he only gets pikemen.
No, mines get halberdier.
What? Wait, yeah, I'm just...
Aztecs,
mines, same bloody difference.
Yeah,
only they're completely different
Jaguar
sims.
warriors and plumed archers, they're almost the same.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, that's actually a really good response.
The thing is, he just needs to keep massing his army. He needs to not make too many risky plays until he gets Imperial Age and gets those numbers. Because like right now, if like 20 Cavalier ran in there, they would just deny that castle, deny all those barracks from being built.
I'm wondering why these guys are going, because that's actually quite an exposed bit of eco back here.
Yeah, they can get in there. The Mangonels are following along. They could take down that TC.
I know, right? Where the Ville's going to run to? Well, I guess they've got to run through that hole there.
And then the Constance follows them through the hole.
Yeah, quite easily
But
done.
Dogao, look at him. He's up to Imperial Age. He's getting Casbah. Getting that nice upgrade to make all the team castles work faster. That helps Treb production for Miguel as well. Super useful upgrade. And oh boy, Paladin is on the way for Miguel.
It is.
Before Say My Name gets up to Imperial Age himself.
Yep, that's very, very good. Obviously now we've got a number of pikes out. Just 10 though.
And
nothing too much to worry about.
basically no upgrades on those pikes, by the way. They've only got +1 armor, so they're not that threatening.
Just a bit worried about Dugao. He's kind of getting bullied a bit here. You know, like, he's kind of got to deal with this himself at the moment.
That's true.
And, I mean, Miguel's not going to want to run a small number of Paladins or Cavalier into a large number of Conks.
But he can only afford to send, a small number of military because he needs to stay on this side. He needs to defend land because land's, the slinger. You need him alive to keep slinging.
Land can defend himself.
Endless walls.
By the looks of things.
Like that one plumed archer could walk forwards and deny those walls.
Looks like Back's then going to move forward now. The Treb from Miguel going down. The castle's still alive, and well, those Cavalier can do nothing but run away for the time being.
Right, wait for Paladin, then he can maybe take a fight if he needs to against the Elves, but he does not want to unless he must.
Yeah, he really wants to avoid it where possible. That TC for Dugao goes down at the back. Dugao moving out a little bit with the Camel Archers, but
remember, Dugao, he actually still has more villages than Say My Name, even though he's lost 2 TCs. Which is, I think, quite impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good going. But he is behind in military, 18 to 31. Say My Name with a lot more conks out on the field. And yeah, obviously Lan under a lot of pressure.
But those
kind of
Paladins
reminding me of the last
cleaning
game.
up military on the front there. Paladin's such a good unit, even against the direct counter Halbs.
Yeah.
Lacking so many upgrades, they're just destroying all here, taking down the Trebs, taking down the Rams. Maybe going to deny that castle?
No, surely not.
90%.
It's going to be a close one. Oh, no, he's going to get it. Yeah, he's going to deny it.
Oh, wow.
Amazing. 98.6%. I love that we get the 0.6.
Right, that
that's a
extra
capture
little
rate
bit of
feature.
information.
Because imagine like 99.9. That's just the extra kicker on the 99%. I can't believe he denied that. I thought that would go up. But the Paladin changes absolutely everything. Now he can start coming across to the right side as well, sending them out now. And yeah, across the middle of the map, Lan just like has this weird forward with Miguel outside of ACCM's base. ACCM at the moment still in Castle Age, still slinging, and he might be the next target for now. But yeah, that castle's going down. This one did go up. The Paladins are out on the right-hand side. Paladin for Say My Name is about to come in, so if Miguel and Dugao can take a good fight now,
thin down those numbers before they get the upgrade would be great. Fun fact from Nbrain. The best Dow castle spotted so far had 99.998%.
Wow.
That's incredibly exact numbers.
4 decimal places? Is that possible?
Get all the 9s in there.
Do it in nanoseconds. How many nanoseconds from completion was it? Miguel, they're going to run up, lead the charge here. This should be a good fight. There are Rams, however, in there. But looks like Dugao... oh, wait, they're actually...
They're Miguel's.
They're Miguel's Rams. They're fine.
Yeah, preparing to keep trying to break into ACCM's base here. And something to remember here. Say My Name, getting Paladin.
Look at this.
Dugao can always just add in some heavy camels if he needs to. Berbers, they get cheap cavalry. If you can get those upgrades in, possibly adding in heavy camels, 20, 30 of those, just to support his camel archers, and then he's okay against Paladin, I think.
That's very good. Fun fact, there's 268,000 health on these walls here.
Oh boy. Triple layer walls. That kind of reminds me of like a campaign mission where you have towers built into the walls.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Like this.
Yeah, it's just surrounded by more walls.
Use the flamethrowers from the Malian campaign. But Say My Name now does have Paladin. He is lacking +4 attack. That's about to come in. See how this fight goes. It looks like Say My Name should have the edge with his numbers there and 8 people. And those Rams won't really have much of an impact from Miguel. They'll just sort of stand there and well, do very little.
Stand there and die. And Dugao fighting from the bottom of the hill really didn't help out his team there. And now, VNA could do a counter push. So they're sort of controlling 3 corners at the moment. If they can keep the top corner under their control, then there's no trade for Team Heresy here.
No, and they've not really done much to secure it at the moment. They are trying. They're adding castles and stuff. But look, there's a forward castle from Say My Name here. And they've got that sort of staging point to actually try and push into this north side of the map.
Yep, denying that gold there. Easy treb production as well. Once they maybe deal with this army in the middle of the map, they can just swing up that way if need be. Try to push that corner. prevent the trade from starting up, and then
A treb for a treb.
pull the trade. Where's he going?
But they are starting to hold out on this side. And right, Lan, at this point, did take a few losses, but really isn't in terrible shape. Got decent eco.
Yeah, but he is 20 mils behind ACCM, which
That's
is
true.
quite insane. Can we check the Slung resources stat? Right, look at that. ACM 4,000 more resources sent. That's significant.
That's very significant. Semino sent 74 resources. You're really contributing to the team.
Oh yeah,
there.
doing whatever he can.
Of course. Zooming a bit more here and see Miguel then losing that castle right there. Combination here is nice. The Halbs in front helping out a little bit. Once those Paladins are out with the picture, the Camel Archers really just kind of have to back up a little bit.
But more reinforcements coming in here. I think they might be okay for the time being.
Looks like they'll be fine. With the reinforcements, they'll be fine. I mean, when the very first time when I saw Camel Archers, before I knew what they were or what they did, I thought they were like anti-cavalry range units.
Right, sort of like a Mameluke.
Like, yeah, but obviously, anti-cavalry archer is a very specific use case. I almost feel like they were designed specifically to deal with Mongols.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Or even, I guess, Huns to a limited extent when they used to always be spamming out Cav Archers. But yeah, Stay My Name preparing a push here on the corner.
This is a lot of Paladin up here.
He could take down a castle with that many Paladin, to be honest.
He could.
Yeah,
Or he could just run straight in.
There's no military here to stop him, really.
Yeah, this looks really good for VNA at the moment. They look like they're on the path to win this game because, I mean, these Paladins are going to come straight in and they cannot stop them right now. This Paladin's running over from Miguel mixed in with trade carts, but they're kind of too far away to deal with this as quickly as they'd like. And look at that castle.
Just going straight for it.
No fear.
I think they might get it. Maybe. Or Miguel getting here just in time. Maybe. 8, 700, 600. Okay, no. Castle survives.
Close, though.
I feel like at that point, you may as well just commit to killing it because you spent so long attacking it.
Right. Maybe you can still go for it with the remaining Paladins, but there's a lot of Camel Archers there now. And yeah, I mean, the castle will stand for the time being. Same I'm going to back out. Big distraction, though, and that means that Heresy now have their army all up to the north of the map, while in the south, maybe there's an opportunity for a push, but maybe not like this. I don't know. Dugao needs to probably back up a little bit, but with a bit of micro, might be able to take down those Halbs and push this back again.
Yeah, I'm wondering though, like, where is Back's plumed archer mass? Like, you expect by this stage of the game that he would have 40, 50 plumes in a huge bunch, but he's only got
20.
Not really the sort of numbers you expect from your mine player. Like, Halbs are all well and good.
He's actually very low in population in general. He's at 10 Halb and 23 plumes, right? That's it.
Look at his KD. Like, that's absolutely horrendous.
What's he doing? I mean, he made Halb initially, right? Because he saw the camel there.
Right.
And then obviously knew that they would become Paladins. But at this point, he needs to sort of switch into...
He needs to keep making both of them, but the Halbs are good as a meat shield, but if there's no plumes behind them, then what are they meat shielding for, right?
Definitely needs more plume production. That's for sure. And wow, look at this. There's Paladins on the right-hand side from Say My Name about to come up against a pretty beefy army from Heresy. I wonder if Heresy can still win this game from this position. They're certainly not out.
Oh, they're starting to get trade up, so I think they've got chances.
It was looking just very worrying when the right side is just so open.
Oh, and they're taking down that castle. Back. Yeah, they're in an okay position. They can continue holding.
Say My Name's going to win this fight, though.
Right, but I don't think he's going to be able to kill that many of the Camel Archers. They're just going to nope out of there. They're going to run back to where all their castles are. Stay safe and secure. And we see Lan also doing the team thing, getting the team walls up through the middle of the map.
Yeah, and almost as if Backed heard you, he now has 40 plumed archers.
That's what I want to see.
And very quickly increasing those numbers. And that's the thing about the mines, right? They're so cheap. They're so fast. And it's no big deal to go from 0 to 100 in the blink of an eye.
Yep. X7 of 12. Yes, the VODs will be on YouTube at some point later today or tomorrow probably. And the Twitch VOD will always be live as soon as we finish streaming if you want to come back later on and watch the games if you miss any.
You can always catch that, yeah. Absolutely.
It'll always be there.
So yeah, Say My Name here with his Paladins on the right side. Dugao chasing him down with the Camel Archers. I just wonder though, like, Camel Archers don't seem to be doing that much, it seems.
I think like 1v1, they are a lot better than a plumed archer, right? The unit has so much more tankiness, so much more HP, so much more damage. But the whole strength of the mines is cheapness, right?
Yeah.
So late game, the longer the game goes, the better the Camel archers are going to become. But at the moment, like, we see ACCM, he's up to Imp, he's teching into that siege, he's getting Onager, he's getting Halberd of his own. Bax no longer needs to make Helbs because ACCM's got his back there.
Yep.
He can get up to, 80, 90 plumes. And then they can start to really deal damage. Get siege rams as well. Celtic siege rams with Furo Celtica. Start bashing down these walls and castles. I think VNA have got a brilliant shot at this game.
Yeah, they do. They certainly do. We do see Camel coming in from Dugao, though, because he's realised now that all these Camel archers just aren't working out against the Paladin on the right-hand side. And, yeah, there's a lot of plumed archers out on the left side as well. Dugao, that's where he needs to be. I think he needs to sort of be wherever the plumed archers are, and then leave the other Paladins or the other Camels that he has to deal with the Paladins from Sim and in.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even there, I think those Paladins could take the fight underneath that castle.
They might.
I mean, if you can, like, fully surround the Camel archers, not just fight, like, 3 or 4 at a time like this,
yeah, it's kind of sloppy from
they
Sim.
could have had a chance.
But they're pushing back on this left-hand side, actually. Miguel here cleaning up the siege, and the support of the Camel archers on this side is much better. Land now going up to Imp as well, much later than ACCM. ACCM is about to join the battle here.
He's starting to make out all of those elves are spamming out of the barracks. He's getting onagers as well. If they can get shots off on the Camel archers, could be huge. Siege onager on the way as well. Big shots coming in the future.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, obviously, Land can go Siege Onager as well if he likes.
To help Siege Onager since I got that extra HP.
Yep, it's going to be a bit better. Land's going to be a bit cheaper, but that doesn't matter so much in a team game.
Once you got full trade, full boom setup going, it's all about population efficiency, less about resource efficiency.
So Land has the best economy, though.
Huge pretty good. Well, to be fair, he does have the most villages in the game. Or I should say eco units, seeing some trade cards included in that count.
How do you see trade cards?
If you click off a unit, so that we can see them on the right-hand side.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, they're actually even. Wow.
Dead even. And even villager counts.
Villas are super close. Wow, this is a really close game at the moment then. And it's almost, in a sense, at this point, going to come down to army composition.
I mean, who has the best army, who controls their army best.
Yeah.
And I think if we're not comparing HP totals, we should avoid selecting units so that we can see the...
Yeah, right. Because if we do that, we end up with something like this, and it's just very messy.
Right, yes. But I think if we're not... Yeah, just leave it like that, and we can easily compare how the overall populations are going.
It looks like without a meat shield, the Gauss can have a hard time.
Yeah. All the Paladins are dead for Miguel. Dogal's going to have to back up a little bit here. And Land starting to tech into Helbs of his own, but it's a little bit slower than ACCM, as we've been saying.
Well, Georgina Helbs are always going to be better.
That's true, but just the Celt Siege. Oh man, that's a big ram.
A lot of rams. But then again, there's Camels here as well. Problem is they're fighting under the castle right now, but
castle's going to go down.
Does it matter? If the castle goes down, this has all been worth it. Suddenly Siege Ram. And suddenly Siege Ram. And it looks like they're trying to path through the middle here, and I think the Trebs may just get away.
Maybe lose one or
pack.
two.
They need to pack and then move.
No, one. All the Trebs, maybe. Rams, where are you going?
He's not killed a single Treb.
Oh, he could have got those two on the top
Swarmed
side.
by camels.
But big push coming in here on the left-hand side. Those plumes, I would just dive in there, run straight for the corner, try to hit trade.
Yeah, there's a hole. There's a big hole, a breach in the defenses of Heresy here.
Bats go in. Like, all of this army is in the north corner of the map. There's nothing there to stop your plumes from getting in there, killing 20, 30 trade carts.
Would be easy. Miguel coming back to deal with this. The plumed archers haven't committed yet. They're holding off. For some reason, they're holding off. They were more interested in this house than the trade.
Right. You know, maybe that one house... Or Miguel is housed on 185. Maybe they're trying to get him down to 180.
Yeah, at 180 pop, you won't be able to defend this.
No, not at all.
No,
big brain plays here.
Big brain plays, I like it. Big raid as well from Miguel coming through. He's got a lot further to travel to get back there, and obviously there's more walls as well.
Yeah, he can't get out of here. What's in this castle? Is that
Oh, the king. There's a king in that castle.
I don't think it should be a problem.
Why?
Oh, I'd say that, but I didn't notice. I didn't notice
the
that there
king's
was
out.
Trev.
Oh my god, no way. No way. No way. Oh, no way.
Shit.
Say my name is defeated. Oh, god.
Oh my god. Fucking hell. I shouldn't have said that. Wow.
This push is all for naught.
And we were saying, oh, they're in such a good position. They've still got the score lead, even though saying the name out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and those honor shots for the Camel Archers there.
That was huge. Right there. And even on the Paladins, they did some huge damage. Oh, that is so sad.
That makes me feel so bad.
To say my name, because like they're actually making a huge push here. And it's all for nothing. They're calling GG. It's over.
Wow.
Just like that. VNA out. Heresy moving forward.
Feels bad, man.
Feels king snipe. Oh my goodness. You just don't expect it, do you? You just... Why would you... Oh my goodness. I remember this back in the 2v2 Regicide edition tournament we did. ACCM and Backed had the shortest game when they lost their king at minute 3 and called GG instantly. Well, that wasn't minute 3. That was minute 52. And yes, this was Regicide. It always has been Regicide. It's just so rare that you see a Regicide victory. But I don't even think it was intentional. I don't even think that Dugao and Miguel were hunting for the king. I think they were just pushing here to try and do something, maybe get through to the trade, and they ran into the king, and that was it. GG. You never forget your king, because that can cost games, and that's exactly what happened there. For VNA, Heresy then will move forward, and they will play against Suomi in the semi-final. The second semi-final, as we can see, Secret will be going through against Brazucas. They will play against the winner of our next match, AM against SY. Interesting as well that Nilly got the King Snipe for Heresy in the 1v1s, and now Heresy get the King Snipe to win in the 3v3s as well. Fun fact for you there.